Toby Jones plays Dobby. But he's there. He's on set. And he's really good. And he does the voice and does the movements. And he's not that small. I mean, he's not that big either. But he's not. But he's he's a human being. But I think him being there and seeing how much input he had into how the character spoke and how the scenes were played out. It was actually somebody in the room, playing it out. And then when you see the film, obviously he doesn't feature at all. You just hear his voice. But he had an enormous amount of input, and he's an absolutely brilliant actor. So I think that was a surprise that you wouldn't know, that some of the special effects have got a human aspect to it. I'm tempted to tell an anecdote. Okay, this is a warning, right? Always wear your best underpants, right? Always wear your best pants. So I was doing the scene where we run across, chasing Neville Longbottom across the bridge in the last film, after the force fields come down and there's explosions going off, and I've got 100 stuntmen behind me, and we're sprinting across this bridge, and we're doing backwards and forwards from every angle with different explosions. And the bridge was on a green screen about 6 feet high, and a board broke, and my leg went through it, and I was going so fast I didn't fall through the hole. I managed to get to the other side and then collapsed in a heap and got up. And I thought my trousers were on fire. And what it was I'd ripped my Achilles tendon at the back, and anyone medical will know you get a burning when the acid gets into the muscle. And I was writhing about in pain, and it was the board had broken completely. So they sort of took me off to my dressing room to see if I was okay, and they're sort of trying to work it out. And of course I've got my trousers off, and I'm lying like this, and every single executive from Warner Brothers came into the caravan saying, "Are you all right, Nick?" And I did not have my best underpants on. Yeah, it's fine. This was so embarrassing. So this went on for about an hour, until eventually, they called a wrap, and I had to have physiotherapy, and we finished the scene off weeks and weeks later. But the moral in the story is, every day you're filming, in fact all the time, always have your best pants. Just always wear your best underpants.
Okay, hi, here. So first of all, thank you for all the effort you put into the work, because I think it still inspires everybody here to become better persons, and I love that. And I actually have 2 questions as well. The first would be if it was any confusion on the set because Harry had the same name as the protagonist. And the second one would tie into what Katie said earlier. Is there any scene or any moment in the movie that you would like to reshoot because you didn't like the outcome, or I don't know, you learned something about your character that you would like to incorporate in that very scene?
Well, yes, about the confusion on set, especially the first film. We had to go to school, so we had to do 3 hours at least of school, and then we had to do a maximum of 5 hours, so we couldn't go over 5 hours on set. And so we'd be at school, and it'd be like, oh, over the radio, oh, can we have Harry to set, please? And so Daniel would go off to set, and then 5 minutes later he'd be back and went, no, they wanted you. And then I'd go, and vice versa. But also what was really weird was when I was about 5, was an idiot. And I was running around my kitchen, not my kitchen, my parents' kitchen. I tripped up and I smashed my head on the corner of the kitchen worktop. So I've got a scar just there, can you see? I've got a Harry Potter scar. So they didn't know this can you see it? It's just there. So they obviously didn't notice this when they were auditioning me. But I remember in the makeup chair, and the head makeup person going, "You've got a scar right where Harry Potter's scar should be." And I went, yeah, I didn't mention that because I thought I might not get the job if I did. And so what was weird was we'd be in the makeup chair, me and Dan would be next to each other. He'd be getting scar put on. There'd be a very nervous makeup artist trying to cover mine up. And then we'd be like, we want Harry on set. Dan would go, and there'd be me on set. So this constant sort of, confusion. By the second film, they got it down, but the first film was kind of interesting for that reason. Yeah.
So funny. You must have felt like, shut up and me. Have a scar.
Trying to push Dan down the stairs.
That's so funny. I love that story. My scene that I wish I could take back and change, I don't know why, but so everyone knows, like, in the 7th film, they started pushing this Neville-Luna romance, even though it's not in the books, because they were just like, oh, they're two odd buds, we'll just put them together, it's wartime, it's fine. And the very, like, last scene where it's like this big showdown between the good guys and the bad guys, and Hagrid comes out carrying Harry's body, that kind of thing. There's a bit where, like, Neville, where he starts getting picked on, and I just, because I knew, I was trying to be a good actor, being like, well, my backstory is we're in love, so if Neville's there and he's getting pushed around, I should run out and be like, my man, and I kind of said this to David Yates. I was like, shouldn't I just not stand there? I should go to the front. And he was like, yeah, I really like that choice. And then so I did that. But then it was just like one of those things, I had to do it so many times. By the end, I was like, hang on. So she runs to the front and does nothing. And so I stopped doing it, and I thought nobody would notice because the attention was so not on me. But then David Yates came back and he was like,